first day of full pads. Guess what, does it feel different at all, or you notice anything different from practice?
I think we're a pretty physical team, so just now being able to fully get on the ground, although it does happen sometimes during some of our third periods, but it was nice to have that freedom today, kind of get loose back up with the season coming around.
Closed quarters for being inside for full pad for the first day of pads?
Yeah, wasn't too bad.
So you're doing some work with the rush ends. What's that like? How you feel? How comfortable do you feel there? And how often do you think we might see you there, I guess?
Yeah, I feel really comfortable with that. I did some work with the Russians during the spring, so we just kind of putting in some of that stuff now during camp. But I've been pretty comfortable with it. As to how often, not too sure. Third downs, I guess, however often that happens. But we'll see as the season goes along.
Is it fun to sort of do some different things and to sort of add to your game, I guess? Do you see it as an opportunity to show more of what you can do, I guess, or how do you look at that?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I think that's a part of my position is I can not only play linebacker, I can do some other things that I might not be able to show as often, but I do have the ability to do. So.
How are you guys seeing the depth in your room from a year ago? Like, how is that changing maybe some of the things that you guys feel like you can do?
Yeah, compared to last year, we have a lot more depth in the linebacker room. But just I don't really see it changing, that much different just based on, rotation. I think that compared to last year, towards the end of the season, me, Cal, and Brule kind of took majority of the reps, and we're kind of flying back, whereas this year with some of the additions that we've had from the spring and the summer, we'll be able to rotate, keep everybody fresh and healthy.
Where have you seen the biggest growth in your game from last year to right
now? Probably just seeing things a little bit faster, noticing things, tendencies that offenses do, and just adapting to that quicker on the field.
Rocking some painted nails. Caleb Williams, your inspiration for that?
No, I just trying some new things, that's all, yeah.
Can you describe for us what the heartbeat of this team is compared to last year? Do you have a feel for it yet?
I think we're still trying to figure out our identity a little bit, but this is what camp is for us to kind of figure that out. But Coach Smith has preached his message about how we need to be connected with each other, and I think that's kind of the big message going into camp is to stay connected, stay committed.
Was it more fun with pads flying around today a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. It's always more fun when you get to tackle and do whatnot, but I always at the end of the day just want to compete, have fun, and get better.
Jordan, Friday, August 30th, will be here in the first game. How do you balance the excitement of the first game of the season with the attention to detail that your teammates talk about that has to happen day in, day out, leading up to it? How do you balance that?
Well, how I look at it is excitement, it kind of has all the same emotions as nervous. So those kind of because, you get sweaty when you're nervous, and when you're excited, you get nervous, start getting a little antsy. So just keeping it in that excited state and not that nervous state. And just being prepared will also ease some of that excitement, whereas, if you have too much excitement, then you get nervous about some things. But being prepared kind of decreases some of that excitement, keeps you level-headed. So.
Jordan, there's a lot of unknowns about this team, obviously, with just the new offense, new defense, new personnel, everything like that. Just what do you hope to prove, after last season heading into this year? Individually
or as a team?
As a team.
Yeah, I think coming into this year, we have a lot of doubt from outside sources about what we're capable of and what people think the outcome of our season will be. But I believe, and I think everybody in this building believes, that we have the potential to do a lot of great things this year. We've added some new parts, new coaches, new players who are all bought in on achieving the same goal. So I expect all of everybody in this building has high achievements for this year. So.
How does Saturday, when you guys do finally get out and do some live scrimmaging, how does that maybe affect and shape some of those things we were talking about between creating an identity and building those expectations from there?
If anything, I feel like the scrimmage would just build on some of the identities that we've hit on. We have a list of we went through with, we broke up into teams and kind of brought up some things about, what we want our identity to be, and player-led grit and toughness came up a lot. And I feel like having a live scrimmage will kind of emphasize on all those things, being able to have contact with one another, show your toughness. Things might not go your way, you got to show grit. And when things don't go your way, who's going to step up and lead your team? So.
As a hitter, would you prefer having more hitting during camp?
I don't really mind it. If it's on the schedule, good. If it's not on the schedule, good. Doesn't really matter.
What aspects of this game do you particularly like, and what about it kind of leads you to believe that there's, potential for success and growth itself?
Yeah, well, for me personally, last year, compared to last year, I feel like linebackers are having a little bit more freedom, a little bit more ability to play downhill. And last year, I wasn't really playing as much on the edge as I've kind of been shown so far this year. So I'm excited about those two things.
How would you describe Wayne Matthews as a player for people that have not seen him play yet?
Yeah, I think he's a great player. Quick, great cover abilities, sees things fast, learns things fast. We've been really excited about, getting to know him, growing with him on the on and off the field. Great guy. Me and him have really gotten close since he's been here. But I like the way he plays. He's fast. Sometimes even on the field, he's helping me out with just seeing different things, noticing different things. So he's a great player. Look forward to playing with him in the fall.
And Jordan Turner, your thoughts on him? How would you describe him?
Same thing. A little bit more downhill. Sneaky fast. You don't expect him to squeeze into some of those gaps and gets downhill as fast as he does, but he does a great job at that. And he's a great vocal leader. He's always vocalizing the calls, making sure that everybody can hear him, making sure that everybody gets the checks and the calls, and that's something that I try to strive for in my game. So
When you hear that Michigan State has gotten a player out of the transfer portal, do you go on YouTube and look for some highlights, or just kind of wait till you see when they get here? Whether it be a linebacker or a wide receiver or any other player?
No, I can't say that I've ever done that. But I wait for them to get here, introduce myself, and then kind of just go through social media from there and get to know them as a person. You can't believe everything you see on social media, so just wait till they get here and get to know them in person.
Excuse me, the preseason predictions weren't very kind on the Spartans. I think that was probably what you were alluding to a moment ago. You guys talk about that, and are you motivated by that as a team to prove people wrong?
It's been brought up, but it's not something that we harp on daily. We know what's been said, but like you kind of touched on there, it's something that motivates us. So we know how some people may view this season will go for us, but we know what we have here in this building and on this team, and we're excited to showcase that.
So far, a bunch of different linebackers have been wearing the radio helmet. What was that experience like for you so far in camp? Obviously, it's different from the spring.
I think it's very beneficial, just being able to maybe get some calls a little bit quicker, get some things corrected in a practice setting where some things you wouldn't be able to get corrected until maybe after practice, or try to find a space in between practice. But being able to have Coach Rossi in my ear, telling me, you should have did this on this player, this could have been better, or watch out for this and stuff like that has been really beneficial to my growth.
You're someone that everyone kind of watched when the coaching change happened to see if you would jump in the portal or not. Has there been a moment with this new regime that you kind of had like a aha moment of like, okay, I made the right decision to stay here, and this is where I'm meant to be at this time?
To be honest, I never leaving wasn't I'm thinking about leaving. It was kind of just always like a in the gray area thing from the outside in. But like I've said it before, I never said that I was leaving and I was here. I said I'd be here in January, which I was, and that's kind of when I committed there. So nothing really kind of clicked. I knew that, I made the decision to, I guess, stay here, but right then and there I was gonna make whatever work. But it has been playing out really well. I like the new staff a lot and what they're doing here, and I like Coach Rossi a lot. He's helped me improve. He's helped improve my game to various levels. So
When you look at your room, Jordan, it seems like there's a lot of guys that can do different things. Like the Wayne is different from Jordan, like you were just saying. Like, what would that allow you guys to do? I guess first of all, do you see it that same way? Like there's a diversity of skills within that room, other than maybe experience being the common thing amongst a lot of you guys.
I think that we have the best linebacker room in the country. I honestly believe that. And like you were saying about how different guys can do different things, which is very true. We have different players. That's with every team in every position. There's different players for each team that play different. But I think that altogether we all play very well together. And at the end of the day, just trying to find the best combination for the best people to be on the field at the time. But I think that we'll all be great contributors on Saturdays.
Everybody talks about the players building a bond and trust with each other. How have you guys done that with the coaching staff? Like, how have you built maybe the bond with each of those guys that have come in and maybe kind of showed them that they can trust you?
Well, to touch on your last part about showing them that they can trust you, that just comes from, time and practice and being put in situations where trust needs to be given. and consistency through that. And to answer your question about the coaches, Coach Smith has done a great job about making sure that, we just don't stay in our circles. We were broken up into groups by teams where we sit out in breakout rooms and get to know each other on a personal level. A defensive player might be put with an offensive coach and vice versa for offense and a defensive coach. So just harping on us really about staying committed and connected with one another.
Confidence seems to be a big part of defense at this point, that mentality. Where would you say the confidence level is now versus, say, what it was towards the end of last season, when you guys were kind of going through, some trials and tribulations there?
Yeah, I mean, probably a complete 180. We were such at unease about a plethora of things. We didn't really know the next move, how the chips were going to fall. Whereas now we have the people in places where we want them to be, meaning players and coaches, and we're excited. And ultimately, that makes us more confident heading into the first game.
But even how just the scheme and understanding that, also the balance between the two sides with the offense, because one of the other players, one of your teammates alluded to the fact that you guys were kind of out there sometimes on an island, playing so many snaps a game. The offense wasn't able to kind of pull the ball and it kind of created this vicious cycle. I mean, where do you feel you guys are at, like with the balance, I guess, between the two units, offense and defense?
I think we're at a really good spot. We brought in some really good players for the offense and the defensive side that'll complement each other, along with that going on with special teams. So I think we're at a really good spot.
Anybody on the offensive line sort of jump out to you so far?
I think they all play really well together. Tanner has really stepped in and kind of been that leader for that group. But I think our offense works really well together, and it's just working through some camp kinks. But I think they play really well together.
Coach Smith was just in here saying the D-line has sort of impressed him over this first week. What have you seen from those guys in front of you, and anybody particular that sort of impressed you or anything like that so far?
I would agree with Coach Smith in saying that they've been playing really well so far and during camp, helping pull some of these double teams off, getting me free. So, everybody's kind of been contributing in their way. Mav has been here a long time. He's always played his part, done his job. Some of the new guys that we brought in, the Quan Dowse, he's been doing a really good job. Q, he's been doing an exceptional job with not only playing but being a leader for the team. So those are just the few guys that really stand out to me. But like I said, the same thing with our offensive line. I think our defensive line plays really good together also. So.
Chris Vogel said last week that this defense is going to get back to that standard that it's been known for in years past. Do you kind of share that same mentality? Do you feel the same?
I would definitely agree with that. Like I was saying, we brought in the players, we brought in the coaches, and I think that we're in a really good position right now defensively to be where we want to be, to get to where we want to get to. Of course, we're going to continue to grow, continue to get better, but I believe that through spring ball and through the first week of fall camp that we're taking the right strides and steps to where we want to be.
When you look at Rossi, obviously you came from another program in the Big Ten. How much does that kind of breed confidence in the fact that he has a track record of success in this specific conference? Obviously, whereas the previous coordinator didn't have that necessarily. Did that kind of resonate with the players, I guess?
I don't think as much as probably you would assume. Just because, you can sit down and have a conversation with Coach Rossi about football for 5 minutes. You can just tell he's a smart guy. I think that would be the case for any conference that he coached in. But, of course it does help he has experience in this conference, but I don't think that we've paid too much attention to that.